I'll have to talk about that.
I mean, we can.
I saw a dude get smoked by a by a car.
Oh, tell us now.
So I'm walking to Anderson,
Yeah.
and I just Snapchatted Max, and I was just like, I'm leaving. I'm by the rock place, and you don't really know what that
Climb
the
the
rock
wall.
wall.
Wait, today?
Yeah. And then
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that's what we were eating?
Well,
Saving it for the pod.
It was just
He's smart.
But anyways, so I'm just walking.
Yeah.
I put my phone back in my pocket, and there's a kid that just zoomed by me on his bike and stuff. And I was like, oh, great. I was like, there's no way this car is going to be looking both ways to like see if people are coming and stuff. So the car is just sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
And so is the bike. It's waiting there too.
Oh, no.
And then neither of them made a decision. So they both go and they just, it was rough. The kid's head hit the ground and I was like, oh my God.
Was he wearing a helmet?
No.
Was he okay?
Yeah, he was okay. He's okay.
You sure?
Oh.
Yeah, he was walking and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No RIP to the man on the bike.
Thankfully. From the studios of Anderson Hall, this is the Corn Boys Podcast. Now here are your hosts, Nathan, Max, and Caleb.
If you haven't noticed by now, and you're on YouTube, we're in video.
Yes.
Welcome, everybody.
Yes.
Everyone's got a camera today. Everyone's
that's
camered
whack.
up. Everyone's mic'd up.
Wow.
Yeah, it is something special to celebrate.
Yes.
We did we tried to go with the March Madness show, ease in a little bit.
It was fun. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was kind of interesting on my part to get the Zoom cameras kind of, you never know when you record if you're going to get each individual one, but we made it work and I kind of did what I could. I was actually very busy between we recorded that podcast on Tuesday, not Wednesday like we normally do. Today's Wednesday.
Yeah.
So we normally go Wednesdays. Then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I was in Kearney, Nebraska at NSAA State Speech. Yeah. Talk about a day. We had 4 live streams going on at the same time. 4. Yeah. And I woke up at 4:30 each of those mornings.
Oh, geez.
And I had to drive each morning.
It's a car.
And then you don't really do broadcasting. You start the stream.
Let it go.
And you just sit and you try to pass the time by doing something productive. And so, yeah. Shout out Mason Henricks, Mason the techie. I told him, he helped me Thursday, Friday. He goes to Sandy Creek High School. And I told him, I didn't promise him a shout out, but he's going to get one here because he was a great help to me.
Does he listen to the pod?
He just followed the podcast and I told him we're doing video and audio and he was kind of excited.
Wow.
So we might gain another listener. So Mason Hendricks, if you're not listening, you won't hear this, so it's pointless anyway.
I will say someone did, while we were on break, be like, hey, how's the podcast going? And someone I would never have thought would have watched it at all. And I'm like, wow.
From Beatrice?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
What about, Kale, you had a similar story we were talking about.
No way.
Similar story?
Or someone was complaining because we missed the week.
Oh, yeah. So I was talking to Nate one of the days, and some people I know back home were just like, did you guys drop an episode this week? And I was like, no. And they're like, why? I was like, well, I had some midterms and it just didn't work out and stuff. And they were just like, boo, you guys are lame. And I was just like, well, I'm sorry.
I'll take the blame. I'll take the blame on that one. That was all.
And it was busy. It was a busy time of the year.
Yeah, but
it was state basketball.
Yeah,
for me at least.
Yeah,
I did not get much sleep. That would have been the Wednesday after that Tuesday you and I recorded that video stuff.
Yeah, without Nate, my project would have been terrible.
Oh yeah,
but I think you said it. I didn't look alive at that time. I probably should not have been awake.
Oh geez.
Well, we were recording at like 10:30 at night on the first floor of Anderson.
On the first floor.
Yeah, because no one was here, so we just put the video camera on the main floor in the open area, and we're just going for it. Because Yeah.
Did it come out well?
Oh, yeah. And both of our professors, we basically got the same shots. It's not cheating. It's just having the same creative idea and just me being the one with the idea.
Creative idea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we had 2 SD cards and the camera could switch SD card slots. And so it's just like I recorded mine. I hit switch. We recorded Caleb's and I just gave him the SD card. And it's all the same shots with just a different person in it.
Mm-hmm.
And we both got the same critique on the same shot.
Yeah. So we were pretty good.
It works.
Yeah.
Are you doing the same 200 or 132?
No.
You're not?
Different
Okay,
class.
okay.
That's how it worked.
Different professor?
Exactly. That's why I was okay with it because it wasn't the same professor. And as much as they say they talk,
they don't.
Like my professor has a different like daytime job. So like
Venice again?
No. Paul Schumacher.
Oh yeah. Who's yours?
Casey Richter.
Not to name drop our professors here.
I dropped mine.
Yeah, Max, what happened?
I had to have surgery the first time, and he said if I missed again, I failed. So, and guess what? If with all that happened again, I would have failed. So I took my money and ran, and I'll just do it in the fall.
Dang.
It worked.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah, very tough, but oh well.
So yeah, that's kind of we have expectations. We have an audience.
Yeah.
An actual audience.
We do.
Which, is different than just kind of we've actually gotten feedback from you guys.
Crazy.
Which is critical. It's key.
Yeah.
With like with you putting the ad out there on Instagram and stuff, I saw it like probably 5 to 6 different times. I was just scrolling Instagram and it just kept appearing like when you get those little ads in between posts, I saw it and I was dude, I like this and stuff. I'm like, why do you keep trying to get me to go and follow? I
targeted it to your age group. That's who we want to watch. We want the Caleb's to watch. That's who we want.
Do we want the Caleb's to watch?
I'm debating me. I'm gonna win every time.
Caleb,
that's not true.
Caleb, do we want the Caleb's to? Do you want the Caleb's to watch?
I mean, more power to you, but we'll probably butt heads.
Of course you will.
Oh, and with that, welcome back to the 6th episode of the Corn Boys podcast. Technically number 5 for audio.
Second for video.
So if you're not following us already, youtube.com/The Corn Boys podcast, or just go to that little search bar and type The Corn Boys podcast. You'll find us. Help get that subscriber count up, guys. There's a new rule where you can't live stream unless you have 100 subscribers.
Really?
Yeah, so that's the number to meet. We have not met that on any of our social media platforms.
We get to 100 on YouTube, we'll do a live.
Free shout-outs for anybody that does it.
Yeah. We'll do a live show.
We'll have some guests.
Why not?
We'll throw it up. Why not?
Yeah, we'll throw a party. Throw a rager. A clean
as
rager.
The kids would say.
as the young kids would say these days, a rager. Also, gosh. News to me, I am the kind of the manager of the email account for the Corn Boys podcast. I got an email the other day that said we are the 147th best sports podcast in the world.
I think that deserves a little round of applause.
According to the Apple Podcast charts. I will give myself applause. I will give us all applause for that.
But you deserve most of the credit.
No.
Yeah.
We've already been over this, and don't make me do it again. Okay? You guys have all the stuff we actually talk about. I just sit here and make sure it all works, and half the time it doesn't work, and I'm stuck fixing it.
Can't disagree with that part. That half the time, so far, it hasn't worked.
We were talking before we even started, how there was the one episode where the audio didn't really work.
Scuffed, yeah.
But you guys never knew that.
Exactly.
Until I told you, right? Because it still sounded kind of the same.
Yeah.
So, I just try to keep everything internalized.
Shout out to Nate.
True.
Shout out to Max and Caleb. Anyway, we've returned in video format. We already kind of said that. Max is just reading my notes. I would never. This is my opening monologue, and Max literally stole one of the lines where you said second in video.
What?
Because we returned in video. That's literally the next line of what I have to read.
The next line?
I've got to be honest, I didn't read that. Lucky shot. So, I didn't even read it.
Yeah, we're back in video format, and we're back on Anchor and Spotify and all of the audio platforms. So, like I said, we skipped actually a couple weeks, but that's because the March Madness episode 5, is on YouTube special. And so, yeah, gosh, I just mixed my next line with what I just said without actually you type all these things up and you think it's going to be great, and then you hit how do these like TV show, like the late night show hosts, like get through their monologue? Like they just don't vary from the script.
It's just routine. They do it all the time. You know, they're so good at what they do. They
also get paid.
Soon?
Hey, we just need those followers.
Yeah, you actually might be hearing a special ad from us. There's a chance. We've gotten some offers. But yeah, we did March Madness brackets, and oh boy, it's safe to say that mine is trashed. Mine's not good. I need to set it on fire and never think about it again. And I think we're also going to talk a little bit here later in the episode, now that the Nebraska men's and women's basketball seasons are officially over and the women made it to tournament play, but we'll get into more discussion on that. I also see we have some baseball and softball check-in things that we're going to do here later in the show. So without further ado, let's roll the intro.
All right, guys, we're back. So one of the big hot topics this week around Nebraska has been the departure of our star basketball player, Bryce McGowens. Before we even get into it, Caleb, I would like to hear your initial thoughts, please.
The kid, talented, 5-star, first one in Nebraska history. It's a big deal, but like we said, he had a lot of weight on his shoulders, and you could see it at some points during the season. Like, for instance, I'll bring up our rivals, Creighton. Early in the season, the third game, the first true test against a team that's all right, Creighton, 6 points. I mean, it is what it is. There's games where he looked phenomenal. Mm-hmm. The first 2 games he had, I think, 22 or 25 and 27. Like, how many times are you going to bring a kid in, and I don't care who the level of competition is, he scored 20 plus every day.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all knew it was coming. It's kind of hard to take because, let's be real, he was the team.
He carried.
It was with him. I think that he will do pretty well in the NBA. The only thing that I think that he might struggle with is he's a little bit undersized. He's really lengthy and like stuff, but he's just not very big, like weight-wise. And I think that might be a little bit of a disadvantage at the next league.
Which is fair. He's averaging 16.8 points here in Nebraska in his career. Only shot from 3 about 28%, which could also be a struggle. But they're also saying if he figures out that shooting form, they're calling him the next Kevin Durant. He's built like Kevin Durant, very lengthy, not a whole lot of meat on his bones, but he could shoot.
The thing is with him, I think it's just a little change. And when he was missing, like, there was a few games that we sat by each other and we both said the same thing. It's just sometimes he didn't get into his legs very much, and he was just using his upper body. And yeah, you might be able to guide the ball there sometimes.
You can't put the power on it.
But you can't put the power. And like with him, he's not getting very much separation the way it is. So he's going to have to be taking NBA level 3s.
Yeah.
So that's 4 or 5 feet behind the college line. And he's just coming up a little bit short or a little bit long every time. He fixes that, he's going to be a problem at the next league.
Yeah. I think you give him a few years, maybe at the G League, let him develop a bit more, but I think he'll be really good. Before we even move on to anything else, this one kind of came out this morning, I believe. Eduardo Andre also leaving the team, this time on a transfer. Bryce is going to the NBA. I don't know if we even mentioned that, but yeah, Eduardo Andre has left the team, most likely. There's a chance he could come back, but he probably will be transferring.
So now we're in the off season for most teams. There's only 16. Well, correction. There's more than 16 teams playing, but in March, like 16 teams in March.
Big leagues, like NCAA, like top dogs.
Yeah. So that means there's 300 plus college teams out there that are going to look completely different. Lots of changes are going to be happening. New kids moving in, kids moving out, and it's just how it is. Eduardo Andre, if I said that I was surprised, I'd be lying. There was just times that you could see that he was a little upset with the coaching staff. It's understandable. He's very athletic, very tall. He can create problems inside. It's just sometimes he lacked a little bit
Yeah.
of things that the coaching staff just didn't like.
I'm interested to see where he transfers to if he does transfer. I wonder if he'll go to a Power 5 school. I don't know. I think he can. Just don't know who's going to develop into the player that he wants to be.
So here's the next question. This is the one little nugget I'll drop or I'll ask about Nebraska basketball because someone brought it to my attention. I kind of thought about it. Is will Trey stay with Bryce leaving? Now, I'll give you my quick thing so that I can actually look smart here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm probably just going to mess it up.
Oh.
But Trey's already transferred once.
Correct.
For isn't it one free unsit, like you can transfer one time free and not have to sit on the bench, right? Is it just the one time or are there multiple times for the transfer portal?
I'm not sure about that one, actually.
See, I've been looking up the rule. I think it's only the one. It's the one transfer because it used to be it didn't matter. You just sat. But I think the new rule a couple years ago was you get one transfer and then you don't have to sit. And this is his last year?
Yeah, well, technically he graduated on senior day. Like they honored him on senior day. So I wonder if he's even going to come back at all, if he even's considering it. Or if he's trying to develop.
So it's not that he's going to transfer. It's whether he just keeps playing or not.
I think so. I think it's going to come down to if he's going to try and go like to the G League maybe and develop and maybe. Because he's not a bad player. He's really not that bad. But I don't know if he's good enough, per se, to get into like the G League or anything. He obviously is not going to be a first or second round pick in the NBA. He's not good enough for that. But I think he can develop, maybe go play overseas. A lot of guys do that. A lot of famous Nebraska players have gone to play overseas. So I'm not sure.
So does he vibe well with coaches?
Yes, that's another big thing.
You're saying he does, or that's something to consider?
It seems like he does, Caleb.
I mean, you watch like the broadcast and everything, and like the media is always raving about how he's a team player and the coaching staff loves him, and Trey came out publicly a few times and absolutely backed Fred till the very last bone. I think that because Trey's first year was also Fred's first year, I believe, because he,
you're right. Yeah.
Trey came from Pitt University. He came to Nebraska, and then Fred was coaching the
Bulls.
He was with the Bulls, and then he came here because his roots were a lot better in college because he led Iowa State
to the NCAA tournament, didn't he? A few times, yeah.
Fred was an all right NBA coach. It didn't really pan out. You could tell that college was more of his calling.
Yeah, but the thing that he's doing now, I think he's trying to bring the NBA to college with the play style. And with us, it doesn't work because we don't have the shooters to do that yet.
The last little tidbit I'll say about Trey is I think his deciding factor last year and not leaving was knowing that his brother was going to be coming.
Now it's up in the air.
And now it is up in the air. This is what I told you guys, and we all agreed on the same thing. If Bryce left, we believe Trey left. And now we know that Bryce left. And I just think that it's just going to be a snowball that just keeps happening. With Bryce left, now Eduardo left. Now who's going to be next? Like we said, you got Derek Walker, you got Trey, you got Lat, and you got Chris McGraw. All of them could come back with the senior COVID year, the extra year of eligibility. But will any of them come back? If on my first instance, I'd say probably not.
I don't see any of them coming back. Maybe Lat. I think Lat maybe could, but otherwise I don't see any of them coming back.
So expect a mostly new Nebraska roster next year.
Yes.
And and the thing is every single year that Fred's been here, we've had a completely new team every single year.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the first year, it was all transfers. And then the next year, it was transfers and freshmen. And now it's just like none of these kids that are getting playing time, Bryce and CJ and Casey at the start of the year and Keon Edwards at the start of the year and Andre, like most of those kids weren't here.
Yeah.
At some point, you do have to realize that to build a team, you have to be here for more than 1 year. You won't build chemistry. You won't learn how to play with each other. Yes, transfers are great and they can make or break seasons, but they have to bond well together.
I think we're going to take our first break. and we'll be back after this. So chemistry obviously playing a big part in basketball in the game, in any team sport. Obviously, you got to have everyone going together. So with basketball, men's at least not a lot of chemistry there that we can see, and especially not next season. It's going to sound like if the roster's going to change dramatically. Let's move on and talk about a team with maybe a little bit more chemistry than the men's basketball team. And that, of course, is, well, the other gender, women's basketball.
Right. So, heck of a season, gotta admit. Made it to the Big Ten Conference semifinals, lost to the eventual champion Iowa. They made the NCAA tournament. I can't remember the last time the women's team has made the NCAA tournament.
It's been a year or two. Yeah. Like, not actually a year or two. That's just
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But they are young, that team. You look at the foundation of that team, they're young. Sam Hybe can come back. She was a junior, more technically a senior, so she could come back. You got Markowski, Big Ten Freshman of the Year, coming back. You got Jazz Shelley. I can't talk today. Jazz Shelley coming back, hopefully. They have a strong foundation that they can build off of going into the next few years.
Yeah, like you said, obviously not the ending that we wanted. We played the Gonzaga Bulldogs. In the first round, we were in the Louisville regional. Got beat. Just wasn't falling our way.
Now, they didn't. I don't know if you guys didn't watch the game, but they did not shoot the ball very well at all.
That's the thing. Like, and that it's who's going to get streaky at the right time. And not saying that it could not have happened, but Louisville would have been a very tough draw in the next round.
When they were doing the selection show, I was watching it, and I saw that we were the 8th seed in that region. I'm like, oh boy, if we make it out of Gonzaga, we are in a tight battle if we had to play Louisville.
It just seems that they like to do that to Nebraska.
I don't think we deserve an 8 seed out of that. I think we deserve at least a 7, if not better.
Well, and it's just like, not to like harp on a like deadbeat horse, but like baseball last year. How do you go from winning the Big Ten championship to getting put in the number 1 overall seeded Arkansas Razorbacks region? Like, they are always doing this to Nebraska. It's like, Nebraska fans are always just like, oh, they're always just picking on us. But realistically, they are.
It's true.
But back to the positives. Like Max said, really young team.
We're here. So, Caleb, we were talking about how the women's team has a pretty strong foundation, a lot better than we'll say the men's team.
Yeah. Like you said, really young team. They can all come back. Literally every single player that played a role can come back. And I believe that they will come back because after the press game conference, the one thing that they just kept harping on is job's not finished. We're not satisfied. We're going to come back next year. We're going to be a problem because that seemed to spark them this year. Like we said, they didn't get any attention from the media. Not ranked once. We're told that they were a bubble team, said that they couldn't do anything, couldn't say this, couldn't say that. At the end of the day, 20 plus wins in any conference, I don't care, is impressive.
Very impressive.
It doesn't matter who you are. You have to go out and do your job night in and night out, like the girls did. Like we said, they're all coming back. You got Alexis Markowski, Jazz Shelley. Sorry about that. A little bit of technical difficulties, but like we were saying, we had.
Wait, who you throwing under the bus there, Caleb?
No, it ain't me.
Myself. It was myself.
No, it was me.
It's Caleb's fault.
I'll take it.
Anyways, so you got Bella Cravens, and all of them are coming back. They want to have a good season, and I know that they can. Big Ten's going to be hard next year again.
Very hard.
But at the end of the day, got to have faith and go Skurs at the end of the day.
That's right. Go Skurs.
All right, let's take another little short break, and we'll be back for more baseball, softball, right?
Yes.
And our brackets, which are trashed.
That's the fun part.
After this.
welcome back to the Corn Boys podcast again after the break. From going from another successful team in the women's basketball team, let's go to another team that's not doing very well again in the men's baseball team. I hope they do good. So far, it's been a struggle. Caleb, give me some insight, please.
So obviously, as we all know, last week was spring break for us. It was the first time the Huskers were home. They were down south for a while. Didn't get to really see them. They weren't really on TV much. So you just had to listen if you wanted to. And I don't know about you guys, but I'd much rather watch something with my own eyes than listen to something.
Agreed.
But I did tune in a few times just to see what was happening. I mean, I kept up with Twitter pretty regularly because, not much else to do.
Mm-hmm.
But
if you turn on your Twitter notifications for Husker Baseball, your phone will not be silent.
Yeah,
I had to go turn them off this weekend.
Yeah, it was going wild. Okay, but anyways, we had 3 series last week.
Correct.
We had UNO. We had one there, one here. Then we had New Mexico State in town for a few games. 2-game series. And then we had Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Teams that are down south. And then for some reason, they want to come and play where
it's not very warm.
Yeah, where it wasn't warm. But luckily last week was pretty good, other than the one day.
Yeah.
I went to a few games. It's just the one thing that stuck out is the pitching is not very good. And that's why the record is what it is.
Yeah. Currently, the Huskers are 8-11 with conference play soon to start this week. At the time of recording, it'll be coming up Friday. So technically last night, depending on when Nate gets this out. But when they played in Omaha, they lost their first game but won the second one. So it was okay. Well, because they played in Lincoln the second game. So they started out 1-0 at home. At a game against New Mexico State, I was at that game. They were up 12-0 into the 9th inning. You're like, oh, this game's over. Everyone was already leaving. Then they get a few hits going, and all of a sudden it's 12-6. Bases loaded, 2 outs, full count. And we were like, oh, crap. One swing of the bat, and this game is a 2-run game. And everyone was left already. But they held it out and won 12-6. Then they beat them again 6-5. Not bad. So they were currently undefeated at home, 3-0. Corpus Christi comes to town. They win the first game, score 13-12. 13-12.
Not very good.
Not very good. Then they lose to Corpus Christi, 1-4. Not good. And then, I'm going to be honest, this might be the most embarrassing loss I've ever seen in Nebraska sports.
Yeah.
I don't remember our football team getting blown out that bad unless it was to Ohio State.
Wisconsin, Big Ten Championship, 70-21.
Yeah. That Kenny Bell block saved it. We lost 21-4.
Yeah.
We were down 21-4 heading into the bottom, or 21-0 heading into the bottom of the 9th.
That score sounds like me when I play MLB The Show because I'm terrible at it. And my roommate's actually really good. So
how do you let 21 runs in before you get one? I'm going to be honest. I think they only had one hit going into the bottom of the 9th. It may be any. I don't know if they even had one.
I don't know. It starts with the starters.
Yeah.
The starting pitching rotation is just flat out not good.
Bad.
And it pains me to say because last year, the pride and what they were good at was the weekend starters. Because last year, obviously, as we know, we didn't get to play any games outside of conference. So it's always, you knew you were going to have a 3-game series with a team. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Sometimes you would have 2 on Saturday, but it would be 2 7-inning games. So you would at least know you had 3 starters. Last year you had Povich, and then you had Chance Roach, and then sometimes they would sprinkle in Kyle Perry or Shannon. All right, that's fine. 2 of them leave. They're going to have great careers in the MLB. Both of them got drafted, Chance Roach, and I can't even think. Cade Povich. Couldn't even think of his name right there. But so obviously with losing starters, that hurts a team because that's who you send out there first to try and go get the game started the right way.
And usually you'd hope that you'd have some guys that could at least fill the role for a little bit of time. But as of right now, the guys aren't getting it done.
No. You look at our starters. You got the best one is
Perry.
The best one starter is Perry.
Yeah.
And his ERA is 6.75. Means every time he's going out there to throw the ball, he's giving up on average at least 7 runs a game.
That's bad.
You're not going to win very many games with that.
No.
And no offense to any of these teams that we're playing right now, like New Mexico State, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, UNO. But those teams just aren't great.
We should be winning all of those games. You look at it, we should.
And that's why you schedule these non-conference games. You want to build momentum. You want to build confidence. It's no different than any other sport you play, like the football team. You get Georgia Southern and North Dakota State or North Dakota. It's like you put those teams on the schedule to get some wins, get some confidence, because you don't want to go in and say, oh, we're going to play Texas for a 3-game series and TCU, LSU, Ole Miss, all these top teams. Your confidence is destroyed.
Yeah.
But at some point, you have to put yourself and your egos aside, and it's all pride. 21-0.
Going into the 9th inning. Bottom of the 9th.
So embarrassing. It's hard to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hope we can turn it around. Conference play starts this week. They're going to have to win almost every single series.
Which is possible.
To even try and snuff the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay. Oh, and going off of that, let's go to a team that actually is doing pretty well. Softball team. Currently sitting at, I believe, is it 19 wins? 19-9.
19 wins.
Incredible. Just came off a 4-game win streak down at the Rock Chalk Challenge down in Lawrence, Kansas. Gotta love it. Beat Tulsa twice and South Dakota twice. They had a game scheduled against Stanford on, it would have been today that we're recording, but fortunately the weather said, heck no, you guys can go sit inside and have some hot chocolate instead of dealing with the nice 30-mile-an-hour winds and snow.
I wish they would have told that to us students today.
Yeah, I know, right?
Today was a day I did not want to walk outside. I was just like, I don't want to have class.
It's horrible. But softball team's getting it done. They got conference play starts this weekend again. They're at Michigan while the baseball team is home against Michigan. And I don't know about you, Caleb. I think they're doing pretty well.
No, they're doing really well. Like we mentioned this a few weeks earlier in the podcast, the softball team is extremely young. And they are saying that youth doesn't matter. They're letting them go out there and letting all the wrinkles and the mistakes that are going to happen, they're going to feel them out early. So then later, like maybe next year or the year after, we won't have those blunders anymore. Sometimes you have to let a team grow. Like, that's the thing. Obviously, it might be painful for a little while, but if you don't let them feel it out and stuff, it's not going to go well.
Yeah.
The softball team's got one girl, Billy Andrews.
Billy Andrews.
She's got 16 bombs on the year.
Leads the NCAA as a sophomore.
Well,
she is just putting up, like, on Wii Sports, the home run derby. You see how many you can hit in a row.
Boom,
she is just putting them on a tee. Say, here, pitch me wherever you want, and the ball will be over the fence. You'll need to find a new ball,
and it's working.
and it's working, and they're starting to build off that. As a team, they have 43 home runs.
Wow,
that's insane. They played 28 games. They're hitting like 1.5 a game. That's pretty good for a team. They've only given up 16 home runs. They almost have triple the amount that they're giving up. When you get numbers like that, it's gonna lead you to some wins.
And obviously it's working right now as they have 19 wins out of their first 28 games, which is pretty dang good in terms of softball.
Yeah. The pitching has actually been really, really good. You look at the stats, like I said, they got 170 strikeouts as a pitching staff between the three of them. They got Farrell, Wallace, and Kinney. Obviously, the number one is Farrell. In softball, they say it's a lot easier on the arm because it's not like overhand motion. It's a lot of underhand. That's every team. You see girls go out there. They're in the NCAA Women's Softball World Series.
Yeah.
They'll pitch 150 pitches. The next day, they'll come back.
Throw it out there.
Good as new. And I'm like,
how?
My arm would fall off.
Oh, yeah. No, it would be so insane.
I tip my cap to them because you know how much like condition and like how much arm care they probably have to do. Like I'm sure that their arms hurt, but they probably have like a routine that they do every day and make sure that they'll be able to put their team in the best situation possible. And they continue to do this. They're going to be a team to watch out for in the Big Ten.
Currently ranked number 40 in the NCAA rankings, which is not bad. As a team that has 9 losses, it's pretty respectable.
Yeah. No, definitely a good athletic training staff here at UNL.
Yes, very.
And with that, we're going to take one final break. I don't even know where I'm looking because, to be honest with you guys, our cameras are throwing fits. So, yeah.
Nice.
Caleb was not lying when he mentioned we have technical difficulties. It is difficult. But when we come back, we'll talk about our brackets very briefly. I don't want to linger on the subject. It causes me too much pain and grief. And then I guess we're gonna try to predict who wins the whole thing now that we're in the Sweet 16.
Sweet 16. Oh yeah.
Our odds are a lot better. So we'll be back after this break. All right, boys. Time to finally face what we don't want to face. Our brackets.
Oh, boy.
We're at the tail end of the episode, and I figured, everyone asked, do you want to start with the good news or the bad news? What do you want to hear first? I figured for you guys don't get a say, so we're going to tell you the good news first. And actually, only half of it was good. It just happened to be the men's sports not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and the women's doing good. That's kind of the plot line that we've been able to run with lately.
Yeah.
As far as brackets, I'm looking at mine.
Well, let's just say I'm in last place out of all of us, but mine's the only one that saw us a national champion still in the tournament.
Yeah, who I had winning, Wisconsin lost.
Bad.
Chucky.
Yeah, that was bad.
Hepburn. Brad Davison.
But not as bad as Caleb's national champion getting knocked out in the first round to who? The St. Peter's Peacocks.
I was riding the Peacocks.
I was riding the Peacocks train, bro.
I was watching that game. That was like one of the ones I did watch. I was like, let's go Peacocks.
So when I was watching the game, it's coming down towards the end, and you were like, I was like, oh no. My national champion's going to lose. But my bracket was already trashed after the first game. It was not perfect anymore because Colorado State sold the bag against Michigan. I was like, okay, you know what? This is March. Let's see how wild we can get. I was like, go Peacocks. And
go
it
Peacocks.
Worked.
Go
it
Peacocks.
Worked. I didn't think they had any chance.
Oh, I don't think anyone in the country really did. Only, I think, 1.68% of brackets had St. Peter's making it out of the first round.
And those were probably joke brackets.
Oh, they were all joke brackets because they saw their mascot. I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah. No, the other team that threw me for a loop, UConn, New Mexico State.
I told you, gotta back Teddy Buckets.
This is the thing, is I wanted to so bad. It's just, I didn't know.
Well, no one knew.
That's the beauty of March, though.
Anything really can happen. Literally anything can happen.
It's like, how many in a 7-game series? How many times is New Mexico State going to win?
Beat UConn?
Yeah,
I'd say 5.
No, maybe a few times.
They beat them in a 7-game series.
No,
yes,
that's not true.
Yeah. Well, the one time they played, look what happened.
That was
Teddy Buckets.
It's
flexing on the crowd.
Yeah, no, he's a national menace.
Oh, he's a bucket. Is he going to the league? Probably not.
Probably not. He's too much of a hothead.
Oh, yeah, he's horrible. But he's a bucket.
Yeah, I like March because you never know what you're going to have happen. Like St. Peter's is now one of the last 16 teams.
That's awesome.
As a 15 seed? What?
How far do you have them going now, Caleb? Do you think they make it out?
No, not a chance.
You know what they say, Nate? Got it back to Peacocks.
But the thing is they've had literally no support.
No one.
No one even probably from their school even thinks that they could do it.
No way.
Like, even us at football games, we're like, I remember we were playing Buffalo, and I'm sitting next to Max.
And we're like, we're going to lose this game.
And Max is like, we're going to lose. I was like, what?
Welcome to the Nebraska mentality. We're going to lose everything.
Versus Buffalo?
Yeah. Did you see Buffalo last year?
He thought that we would
They
lose.
went 10-2 last year.
I knew.
Going into this season. And then they weren't good this year.
Actually, I was a little concerned because that was the game that was played on 9/11.
Yep. It is. Yes.
So I was a little concerned, Buffalo, New York. I was like, damn, these boys about to,
show up for their state.
Yeah.
No.
And then we just wiped the ground.
It
wasn't as big. It wasn't as big as our Northwestern win.
No, or our Fordham win.
Yeah. But it was, dude, I showed up to that game and I didn't care who won or lost.
Which one?
The Buffalo one.
Really?
Yeah. All I was concerned about was like, what were they going to do for the pregame? Because I had seen that video.
Yeah.
Dude,
it was cool.
I didn't cry.
You almost did.
I cried afterwards, but I keep watching like a couple weeks ago before spring break. I was very stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just kind of watched it and I was like, dang. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that entire atmosphere, that was just crazy.
Oh, it was wild.
Everyone went wild, like USA chants. I was like, yeah,
the guys
awesome.
Jumping out of the planes and parachuting in.
That wasn't the same game.
I don't really know.
No.
Yeah.
We didn't have parachuters on 9/11.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I thought we did.
I don't know.
What game had the parachuters in?
I just don't think it was the 9/11
I think it
game.
was because I remember a guy coming out with the USA flag on his leg. And I don't think they would have done that on any other day.
Who knows?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, it probably was because we had like a really epic flyover.
Yeah. But then the guys all jumped out.
And then we had an epic, and then I remember looking up and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're smoking this guy.
I have a video from that day. I'll find out what day it was.
Maybe we'll plug it into the video only version.
I don't know if you want that.
Yeah, probably not. Anyway, yeah, goosebumps that day. I lost my voice. Crazy. Like that was kind of a theme with me, and like sometimes like when you have flyovers, I don't know, I'm the type of guy that like just gets amped up for flyovers. Like I lost my voice within like the first 15 seconds of like the whole preparation.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I don't know how we got on this topic, but
go back to basketball.
March Madness brackets. Let's bring her back.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bottom half of the bracket looks ugly.
Oh, God, mine too.
And my top half looks kind of okay because I predicted Gonzaga, Arizona, Houston, Villanova, Duke, and Texas Tech. Just a little surprised at Duke, but,
You're surprised that Duke made it.
I just don't want Coach K to get there again.
That's fair.
Duke's very fraudulent.
And then on the bottom half, I got UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
And Purdue. Those are the only two teams they got right on the bottom half.
You didn't get Kansas?
No, because I went with Creighton. I went with the
L take.
I went with the Blue Jays, and then I also went with Providence over Richmond. And Iowa. Wait, Richmond did win.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. No, I went with Iowa, not Providence.
I think so.
I need to learn how to read these brackets a little better. But yeah, that.
I was kind of close. My final four is still possible. I know Caleb's is not, and I know yours is not. So I'm the only one that's really winning here.
And yet you're still lower in the bracket than the rest of us.
Just wait. When Arizona wins it all, you just wait.
You know what bracket I haven't checked on?
Corn Boys one?
That one's chalked.
It's bad.
Is it?
It's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I just went to Caleb's bracket because I remember that he had Kentucky winning.
Yeah, that was chalked.
Wait a second. We have 3 of the 4 teams still in that we had in the Final Four. We just don't have Tennessee. We have Zaga, Purdue, and Kansas.
Yeah, and you know who picked Tennessee? Caleb.
That's not true.
I picked Arizona. You guys wouldn't let me take Arizona.
We also took San Francisco.
Yeah, but that's a round of 6.
And Loyola,
That's a round of
Chicago.
64. Okay, but that one seemed more of a bro. Sister Jean in March. Come on now, everyone picks Sister Jean in March.
That was such a square play.
Oh, you know what game we no, because we chose Kentucky too.
We should have picked the Peacocks.
We really should have.
We made fun of the Peacocks. We thought that we should go for the Peacocks. And Caleb was like, no.
I don't know why we agreed with him. I thought
I thought we did too.
2-1.
Yeah, he was probably whining too much.
He probably came in here and edited it after the fact.
All right. So with that being said, what's your guys' Final Four looking like now with the Sweet 16 the way that it is? Caleb, you go first.
Gonzaga.
And?
Just one team in the Final Four.
Just Gonzaga. That's it. That's it. No one else.
Hold on. Sorry, I wasn't prepared. Gonzaga.
Yeah, you snuck this question on us. We didn't have it in the script, Max.
It is in the script.
Gonzaga, Purdue. Other side, Kansas, Arizona. Call me square. Call me whatever you want. It is pretty chalky. You got 3 1 seeds in there. It is what it is at the end of the day.
Nate?
I'm still trying to figure out how to read this bracket. How did Iowa State and Miami?
Because Iowa State knocked out Wisconsin and Miami beat Auburn.
Yeah.
Which was my shock of the day. I thought Auburn was actually going to make it pretty far, but when they got upset, I was like, whoa.
All right, Miami's beating Kansas then.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm going to go the same with Gonzaga and Purdue. But if they were able to beat Auburn, yeah. Miami to the Final Four. And who else do I got on the top? I'm going Nova.
You're going Nova?
Yeah, I'll go Nova.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you know. I kept my Final Four the same as my original bracket. So I got Gonzaga, Purdue, Arizona, Kansas, but I didn't even pick Nova to make it out of the Sweet 16.
Boo.
I know. I literally said it in the first time, and I'll say it again. You're going to have to edit it out. Sorry.
I'm not saying it because I'm going to have to bleep 3 times instead of 2.
Okay. But I think they're on such a roll. I think they can beat Nova. And then I'm going to be honest. I literally almost flipped a coin for Arizona, Michigan. I actually think Michigan can make the Final Four. But since my national championship pick is Arizona, I'm not going against it. I also have Iowa State beating Miami. And I have Purdue beating UCLA to get to the Final Four. Gonzaga beating Texas Tech.
How is Iowa State going to score with Miami? They scored no points.
How'd they beat Wisconsin?
They held Wisconsin under 50 points.
That's, you know what,
Wait.
They say the phrase all the time and it gets old, I get it, but it still stands true to this day. Defense wins championships.
Okay, but offense wins games.
Who cares?
This isn't a championship, Max. This is a game.
You can't say anything. Your team lost to Iowa State. Quiet.
My team didn't even make it past the first round.
Don't mute me.
Yeah. You can't tell me to be quiet when I hold all the power in my hands. I got a mute button right here. Yeah. Doesn't work out so well, does it?
Ouch. Okay.
Yeah.
But
take it.
I think Iowa. God damn it, Nate. Uh-oh. Yours finally went out. But
It's been out for 5 minutes.
I really think Iowa State can hold up Miami, first of all. That's all they have to do. And Iowa State has a chance. If they play that stellar of defense, they can beat Kent. They can beat Kent.
Yeah.
There's a chance that there's 2 11 seeds in the Final Four. And they'd have to play each other. They would. It'd be Michigan against Iowa State. Of course, I'd root for Iowa State because... Say it again, Caleb.
Stop the cap.
No. Both of you muted. You can't say anything.
Okay, sorry, but we won't say it again. But yeah.
I should soundbite that just so we have it on my buttons.
Thought about picking Carolina over UCLA. That's a tough one. Honestly, very tough because UCLA is on a roll, but I don't know if that guy can play because he got kicked out of the game for elbowing a dude in the jaw.
Yeah, what's the ruling? That's interesting.
He was kicked out for the second half, which that 25 comeback from Baylor, impressive. Couldn't even hold it. Disappointing. But I'm sad none of us are back in the Peacocks, though, guys.
No, you can't.
Why not?
Physically cannot.
They beat your national champion. That's why you're salty.
No. Okay, I didn't say I wasn't backing the Peacocks in the Sweet 16. Yeah, they'll beat Purdue.
Dude.
But they're not going to beat UCLA. UCLA has a song made about them. You ever heard it?
Yes.
It's literally called UCLA.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
moved to LA. Go to UCLA. Yeah, okay, we can't do that.
Drives a Maserati,
Yeah, copyright. Okay.
Yeah, but whatever. I see UCLA making it. I could see them in the Final Four. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Purdue.
No.
But if the Peacocks beat Purdue, Peacocks in the Final Four.
No, they won't.
Purdue is the toughest team that they'd have to play in the whole tournament.
We got to figure out who the Peacocks have as like their like special. No.
That's what?
Okay, so like you know how Loyola Chicago had.
Oh yeah, Sister G.
The Peacocks got to have someone.
Well, did you hear the story about their Spirit Squad? They didn't have enough money to send their Spirit Squad to the first game, so Peacock, like the streaming service, funded the Spirit Squad to go to the second round game. And they've also given every student at St. Peter's University a 1 month free Peacock subscription.
Dude, that'd be so nice. The amount of money I'm paying Peacock right now
I know.
to stream stuff.
I just think that's a little cool, little tidbit.
You know why? Because Peacock's NBC, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think NBC has any of the streaming for March Madness.
No.
It doesn't.
Because it's TNT, CBS, TBS.
And
TNT.
ESPN has...
No,
ESPN has none of them.
They have the women.
CBS, TNT, TBS, and
True TV.
True TV.
That's it.
So yeah, maybe that's just NBC's way of like getting mentioned.
But bro, I'm just saying, Peacock's got a big game on Friday night.
They're losing.
It'll be done.
It'll be done. Maybe by the time this comes out, the Peacocks are in the Elite Eight.
No.
Getting ready to go to the Final Four when they beat UCLA or North Carolina.
And they'll be playing it the next day?
Yeah.
They'll be playing it tomorrow.
No.
Caleb, you just keep crying and whining just because your national champion lost in the first round, bro.
You know what I can do to Caleb?
Mute him. Now we can just go.
Yeah. Now it's the Nathan and Max podcast.
Are you back in the Peacocks in the first round?
No.
Sweet 16?
In the Sweet 16, yes.
Crazy.
Yeah,
but
they'll beat Purdue.
I wish I could, but Purdue made my Final Four originally. I'm sticking with them. I still think they're the best team in the Big Ten.
You know what stinks is now that I am back in the Peacocks, I should probably actually watch the game.
Oh, you should watch the game. It'll be a great game.
I haven't watched a lot of it.
St. Peter's can shoot. That's the thing that Purdue struggles with a lot.
Yeah.
Purdue can't shoot the ball very well. If they get it inside, Purdue will dominate the entire game. If they don't force it to Edey and Williams,
Trayvon Williams,
then they're gonna lose. If they just have Ivy run the whole game, they're just gonna lose. But watch out for the Peacock.
All right.
Right, Caleb?
Yeah.
You heard it here. Probably not first because you're hearing it after the game. But I think that's going to do it for this episode, guys. There's someone speaking outside, and it's really annoying me. And I don't think the general public has a lot of respect here for the Corn Boys podcast, guys.
Unbelievable. Maybe you guys should help us out.
I think you guys need to come and help us. You guys need to protest the loud people.
Amen.
Amen.
We will not give you any food. Or any shelter.
Or any money.
Or
anything.
We might not even give you a thank you. But you can still show up.
We can give him a thank you.
It's no free shout outs.
No, that's right. No free shout out.
Yeah. But yeah, had a little technical difficulties. Guys, I'm gonna figure this out. And I say I because that's truly how this works. And the guys will agree.
We don't do anything.
Yeah, we don't even know what we're doing.
All they've been doing this entire time has been pointing out bad things like when the camera stops. So, hopefully something looks good here. And I almost guarantee you next week it's going to look completely different.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Well, and if you're not improving on something each week, you're not getting better.
Yeah, what do you do?
Like, the first 3 episodes were each held in a different place.
Which was pretty incredible on our part, I will say. We did pretty good with that.
That was exhausting.
It was awesome.
I hated it.
I bet you did.
I bet you guys loved it.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Loved it.
When I go to edit audio, if it's the same way, the same time, then I can just use the same preset and just like roll.
Yeah, but if not, then...
But when we were in 3 different places, it was like, all right, I need to do more of this on this audio because of this. I need to do less of this. And it's like, But we're in this room, 313, the best room. You guys don't need to know the number.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
Don't look. You know what I just thought of? Since all of our cameras I remember getting guaranteed. People told me that due from day one, the journalism college theme.
No,
it's due from day one. Anyway, it's written all over the walls here.
What?
Yeah, like they want you to do from day one. Like they want you to like be creating. Like this podcast is doing from.
I'm blind. I guess I haven't seen that.
Technically from day 3, but because it took us a couple days.
Sure.
I thought someone told me we could use the TV production studio.
Where's what they're using right now?
Yeah, it's just right across the hall. We get some of those TV cameras, get some teleprompters going.
That's a bit much.
Well, you guys could sit at a desk.
We're sitting at a desk right now.
But you guys could sit at a big desk.
Without headphones?
With green screen.
Oh, we don't need that.
Yeah, we do.
We could use boom mics.
That's a bit much.
No. It's not.
No?
It's not too much.
I wonder who you'd even have to ask to use that. I don't have enough connections.
Those guys outside, probably.
Yeah, they'd probably say no. They don't know who I am.
Sure.
I don't even know who I am most days.
Okay.
Nope.
All right, before we get all like spiritual or something like that,
whatever
I don't know. I think that's going to do it here for podcast episode number 6. I actually haven't said this in a while, but we're getting really close, extremely close to that 8 number mark.
Well, actually, technically it'd be 9. We want to beat it.
Yeah, but we got to get to 8 first.
That's right. We're almost there.
Baby steps.
That's crazy. We're almost there.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a climb and a journey, and we thank you guys for being with us. And not that you guys notice the struggles behind the scenes, but just know that, what in the heck are they doing out there?
Whatever. Move on.
Yeah, anyway, I'm not complaining. I love being faced with challenges that are extremely difficult to solve. And with that, we will see you guys on the next episode of the Corn Boys podcast next week. Same time, same location. I feel like someone else says that. It's another podcast I listen to, so we're just getting copyrighted all over the place. But until next time, bye!
Go Peacocks!
See ya!
I had to sneak it in there. You had to sneak it in there.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying, you got to back the Peacocks, bro. I'm sad. I want to.
The thing is you can't back them. If Purdue is just going to go inside every time.
I don't care
if they have any brain cells.